Yeah, I think that's the amazing thing about music, though. If you're doing it in the right manner, it's always going to be able to, translate to somebody else, and they'll find it, somewhat relatable.
What's up, friends? It's Emily Curl. We're here at our iHeartRadio headquarters in New York City, and we are joined by a very special artist today. Zayn is in the building. Can we give it up for Zayn? This is so exciting for us. Welcome to iHeart.
Yeah, man, thank you.
We know every time you're here, we're going to be talking about some new music.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your new album, Room Under the Stairs.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You've been working on this album for around 6 years now. So obviously you've had a lot of time and space to compose the album. Was that always your intention? Did it just kind of flow that way? Tell me about the process.
Yeah, that was the intention behind this record. I just wanted to take time, live life, go through experiences, and make genuine music based on, actual things that I was feeling and going through, rather than feel like I had like a whole list of songs I had to make and I had to fit, a deadline for the charts, and this is what people are listening to and this is relevant. Just wanted to do something that was truly me.
Yeah, I mean, you can feel it in the music. I was telling our team, I have the best job in the world. I get to prep for interviews. I get to listen to your music, watch the lyric videos, listen to you as a songwriter, and then upon the first listen, that's always a really sacred time.
Yeah.
I heard so many different, genres of music, and it seemed like you pulled from a lot of different inspirational places.
Yeah, definitely. I am influenced by a lot of different genres of music, and not just specific, to one thing. Like R&B, I like hip hop, I like country music, so I try to pull from all the different areas. I'm quite familiar with Bollywood music. I love singing in Urdu and Hindi too. So yeah. I try to pull all my references in, when I'm doing, when I'm creating something. So yeah, that was the intention behind it all, just to bring, genuine references and things that I like.
I want to talk about Stardust for a second too, because the visuals are just so striking, so beautiful.
Appreciate it.
And it's so cool to have the juxtaposition of, this beautiful nature element mixed with like these, out of this world moments.
Sure,
what was your interpretation of that?
I think it's, it's taken from my love for sci-fi. I think one of my favorite movies as a kid was E.T.
Oh, really?
So it's very heavily E.T. influenced. If you watch it back now, I've said that, you'll see.
Yeah.
And it was just
so
this
funny.
idea of, love being this this vessel that can, take you beyond the realm that you're living in. And, you're trying to look for love, and in whatever way that can, take you back home, so it felt very fitting, E.T. was always trying to phone home.
Wow.
So I was like, that's a good way to show this, rather than it being your obvious love story between two people. Maybe it's just a love for the earth, and
Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
Where did you shoot this, by the way? It was beautiful. It was so pretty.
We shot that in, I think it's just outside of New York,
really?
but it's still classed as New York, but it's a fancy area up there. Yeah,
Somewhere in New York.
Yeah, it was like somebody's nice, crazy property. I think they have 300 hectares of land there, but yeah.
Well, I was wondering if art imitates life in the way, because I know you're working on your studio in Pennsylvania, if that was how much environment plays a role for you in the music you're creating.
Yeah, and it felt, like it fit the kind of environment I've been in while I've been, recording and stuff too, just out in the woods, out in the sticks, trees around everywhere. So
I'm from Georgia, so I get it. Yeah.
Cement the idea, behind the music for sure. It gives people a vibe.
I want to talk about you as a songwriter, because again, like I said, just even reading the lyrics, that was it was so interesting for me. I feel like we saw these different layers of Zayn. The first song that I loved was Gates of Hell. Okay. I feel like those lyrics, I don't like you very much, but I keep putting up with your shit.
Yeah, man.
I was like, it's the perfect way to be petty, but it's an upbeat vibe.
For sure.
I loved it.
It was just, I wasn't even trying to be petty. I was just trying to put something real simple terms, you know what I mean? Conversational, just I don't like you very much, it's just, it's not really that harsh, is it, if you just say it like that? It's just me being very frank and, to the point. I didn't want to overcomplicate anything and shroud it with poetic nonsense. So I wanted to just get to the point.
And I appreciate that so much, because I've had that feeling so many times where it's I actually don't even like you that much, but why am I still here? Yeah.
I think a lot of us have felt that way.
Yeah, and so I think that's so interesting about your lyrics is being so relatable. Obviously, immediately makes me think of my own stories in my life. Is that a wild phenomenon for you. You're writing from this place of Zayn. These are your personal stories. When your fans connect in this way that they create their own stories, I'm sure that's just such a wild phenomenon.
Yeah, I think that's the amazing thing about music, though. You know, if you're doing it in the right manner, it's always going to be able to, you know, translate to somebody else, and they'll find it, you know, somewhat relatable. If you're living a relatable life or you have a relatable perspective, you know, you're always hoping that it's going to be able to translate to somebody else's experiences too.
Totally. And speaking of relatable, you talk a lot about fatherhood too, and we get that through line. How has fatherhood impacted your music and your writing?
I think fatherhood has impacted me as a human being. It's way bigger than just, you know, my profession, my music. I think it's made me look at a lot of things in life that I was looking at a certain way before in a very different light. I tried to push through things, you know, persevere. Even if it's daunting, or, you know, if I get anxiety or whatever, I'm not bothered. I just kind of like push through it because I'm like, I'm doing this for a bigger purpose, you know?
Yeah.
And it feels good.
Yeah, it seems like it. It's coming through in the music. Like, I know I told you my favorite on the album. Is there any particular track, maybe at this moment, that holds like an extra special significance for you?
For sure. Yeah, I was saying to Maxwell, I was saying my favorite song is Dreaming, and he said to me, you can't pick a favorite, but Dreaming
but you
is
haven't.
my favorite.
Yeah, that's funny. Has it always been the favorite from the beginning?
I think from the minute I recorded it in the studio, it felt very strong to me, and it felt like a level up, you know, to other things I've been doing before, and it kind of came together in the way that I envisioned it in my mind, and it had all the feelings and vibes I wanted to put in there. So I'm really proud of that song. And yeah, it's a wicked song.
So good. And working with Dave Cobb, I was going to ask you about that. What was that experience like?
Yeah, Dave Cobb's an amazing dude. He's a genius. I had pretty much most of the record like together. When I was getting signed by my label, I played it to my head of label, and he was like, we know the perfect dude to like elevate this to the place it needs to be. And he introduced me to Dave Cobb, and as soon as we started talking, like he got it off the bat and just like made it what it is today.
So cool.
Yeah.
And you just played, so exciting, a sold-out show in London. This is your first time back on the stage in a while. What was that like for you?
It was, you know, daunting at first, like the idea of, you know, going back on stage, but actually doing it was amazing. I got a real sense of accomplishment, and it felt good to reconnect with the fans and feel their love, and, you know, see them and hear them and feel their support, you know, for the record and their understanding.
So is that something you think that the fans could continue to look forward to, Zayn back on
for
stages?
sure.
Okay.
A lot of fans made sure to ask me when my next show was going to be. You know what I mean? I'm not allowed to say soon anymore because I've said it too many times, and soon could mean 8 years. So they want specific dates. So we're working on that.
Coming.
I'm going to get in rehearsal, and, you know, hopefully we've got a few more shows coming soon.
Okay, it's so exciting. Okay, so Zayn, last question for you. In 5 to 10 years, when you look back on this record, on this process, what do you think you're going to remember most? What's going to stick out to you the most about it?
I think, which was my original intention, I think when I look back in 5-10 years, and it could completely change, but I think at this moment in time, I'll look back and be like, that was a brave decision to do that, and I'll be proud of that decision, you know, because sometimes the scariest things that you do, or the bravest decisions you make at the time feel weird, like it's not going to be the right thing, but I'll have the hindsight at that point to be like, oh, it actually worked and people got it and it felt good, you know.
And for you right now, does this feel like the right thing? Like this feels like the right project?
I think so, yeah, from people's feedback and response and stuff, like it feels like I'm in the right lane.
I love it. Well, we love the album. We're so excited for you. So appreciative of your time. Can we give it up one more time for Zayn being in our studio? This is so exciting. Thank you so much, Zayn. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for watching. Did you like that video? You can check out more over here, and don't forget to subscribe to iHeart right here.